This is my 30 days of exposing my truth. Today is back in 2008 when I launched my very first business and my lip gloss company. I began my hero's journey. I had attained some really great success. I then had a crisis, lost it all, had to reinvent myself and heal, and that led to a whole different level of success for me. And I want to share what happened and the lesson that I learned, because I believe that this could be a blessing for somebody who's watching this. So back in 2006, I climbed the corporate ladder at my corporate real estate job at a new home builder. And I had generated $9 million in sales in 1 year, and I won Salesperson of the Year. I was at the top of my career, had earned the most income I'd ever made in my life, and everything was great. Well, by 2008, I made the decision to leave my corporate job in real estate. I was actually in marketing at the time at that real estate company. And I decided to start my own business and launch my innovative product called Thin Gloss. So my product won Best Innovation of the Year. It's second place in a competition for inventors. It was sold in a few retail stores across the United States and a few other countries. And I was featured on the TV show Shark Tank. And as I was building this business, it was hard, but I was willing and I was working at it. Well, I landed a huge opportunity. I got a licensing deal that was estimated to exceed over $1 million in sales. And I was so excited. I thought, my ship has come in. I can't believe it. So I signed a contract, signed everything over to this other company. They were going to run the company, manufacture it, ship it, sell it, advertise it on TV, do all of it for me. And I was going to be receiving royalty checks in the mail every month from the sales. So what did I do? I stopped selling. I pulled back, took my foot off the gas pedal, stopped selling, thinking that I'm going to be getting checks every month, so I don't have to work so hard. Somebody else is going to do the hard work for me. Well, I got myself into a big mess because 5 months after I signed the contract, they canceled the whole deal. And I was at ground zero going, now what do I do? And I'm clear that I'm not a victim of that experience. I created it because I made the decision to stop selling and stop moving my business forward. But because of that, I was in a huge financial mess behind the scenes nobody knew about. I lost my home in a foreclosure sale. The bigger house that I had built from scratch, from the ground up. I sold all of my material possessions. I literally lost everything except for my clothes and a few odds and ends. And I moved in with my fiance, who is now my husband. And I hit rock bottom. And I started digging deeper into, why was I not able to overcome this? Because you see, at my lowest point, I was deeply depressed. I was at my highest weight ever. I felt completely lost and I was bankrupt. And I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do now? And so I made the decision to seek counseling for it. And I was searching for why. Normally I get back up and rebound quickly, but I couldn't seem to pull myself out of this dark place. Well, it turns out I had an identity crisis. I didn't even know what that was at the time. But I had spent the majority of my life trying to prove my worthiness through external things like how much money I made, winning awards, getting Salesperson of the Year, material possessions at times. So I was tying my self-worth, my worthiness, to external things. That's why I had the breakdown. The whole ordeal drew me closer to God. That's when I started my inner work of healing, but also my journey to wholeness. And so I realized that I I think the big lesson that I learned is that I no longer tie my worthiness to anything external. I am worthy no matter what. I am a daughter of God who created me on purpose for a purpose. And there's nothing ever that I need to prove. And this has been one of the biggest life-changing pivotal moments for my life. Around 2014, I was still in the middle of the mess, trying to figure things out, depressed, all of that. I was watching an episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I believe it was on Super Soul Sunday. And she was interviewing Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. And Elizabeth Gilbert began to explain something she had gone on. It was the hero's journey. And she began to describe these 12 stages in this hero's journey that she had gone on. And I couldn't believe it. I was shocked because literally everything that she had just described, all 12 stages, I literally had just lived through that. Like it was the exact pattern and everything that had just happened in my life. I couldn't believe it. That's when I realized, oh my gosh, it is so ironic how the human experience is so parallel and very similar to those 12 stages of the hero's journey, especially if you are a business owner. But it can happen for anyone. I'm going to get my glasses on here because there was a point I wanted to make. One of the things I think that I learned also is that I got back up. I started the journey towards healing, the inner healing work on my journey of wholeness. I regrouped, I began selling again, and I completely sold out of all of my lip gloss, all of the inventory, and I moved my life forward. This was hard, but I didn't stay stuck. I chose not to stay stuck. And I was stuck for a while, but I had to use my personal power to get back up and keep moving forward despite what just happened. And because of that whole experience, that led me to start my current consulting business. And I've been running my consulting business for the last 10 years. And I've had some really great success with that so far. I'm still on the journey, but it has been life-changing. So the last thing I want to share with you is that the real purpose of starting a business and growing a business as a business owner, or even saying yes to stepping into a role of greater leadership, it's way bigger than just building profits. It's a journey to change who we become for greater impact that we're here to make in the world. Because I believe God's trying to do something through us, and it's a preparation process. Our first business is a training ground, and it's preparing us and equipping us for something greater that is part of our destiny that maybe we can't see yet. That was the big takeaway for me. Anyway, I'm so grateful that it happened because it made me who I am today, helped me to heal. And you remember the movie Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, from many years ago? Do you remember the character Yoda in the movie? Yoda was the trusted mentor who was guiding and instructing Luke Skywalker, who was on his hero's journey. Well, I'm kind of like Yoda, the mentor for my clients now. I have been there. I've been on the hero's journey. I've been transformed. And now I'm a guide that's coming alongside the people that I serve to help them fulfill their destiny and reach their highest potential. And you are too. I'll see you soon. Bye.